when we get into this business from an outside industry, or we're just getting brand new, maybe we're young getting into this, or maybe we're coming from some other industry, realizing the values is really tough. It's kind of sticky. We're kind of like, well, somebody says it's worth $250, but I think I'm looking at this and it looks like it's worth $280. How do I know what it's truly worth? I'm going to break it down in these 7 steps. Check this out. Comping properties here. This comes up time and time and time again. All right. If you look at the 3 silos, the 3 parts of our business, lead generation, it's then conversion, and then it's exit strategy. But that middle part, in the conversion part, is where we do our due diligence. This is where we're pre-qualifying the property owners. We're finding out about the property so that we can come up with the right price. Remember, whenever we're negotiating with real estate, it comes down to 2 things: price and terms. The third thing is you. Obviously, they have to trust you, but really looking at which dials that you can turn. Price and terms. All right. We're not going to convince anybody of anything. They either want price or they want terms. All right. And they either want to work with us or not work with us. Our ability is to get better at communicating, get better at pre-qualifying, get better at lead follow-up, get better with our enthusiasm, our certainty, our likability to be able to present this offer in a way that they trust us to get the deal done. Right? Well, part of that comes down to comping properties, finding the value of these homes, of this land, of this multifamily, of whatever it is, a condo, a townhouse, whatever it is, a manufactured house, but being able to come up with that value so that we can effectively go there with the confidence, with the certainty, and with the likability to go and lock up that deal and make something great out of it, right? So really, I want to break down the 7 steps here that you need to follow whenever you are evaluating. And I'm going to show some examples. I'm going to show you how to do this easily. I'm going to show you the parameters of where you want to offer, what range or what price you want to offer based on the value of the properties. All right? But don't become an appraiser. Make this be simple. I mean, you can get very, very, very good at this, and I want you to get very good at this, because the more that you can realize when an opportunity is in front of you and how big that opportunity is, the more you're going to make, the faster and better your business is going to be built. Comes down to comping the properties and being really, really confident in the values that you're finding. Because when we get into this business from an outside industry, or we're just getting brand new, maybe we're young getting into this, or maybe we're coming from some other industry, realizing the values is really tough. It's kind of sticky. We're kind of like, well, somebody says it's worth $250, but I think I'm looking at this and it looks like it's worth $280. How do I know what it's truly worth? I'm going to break it down in these 7 steps. Check this out. Pull that up, Matt. 7 steps to comping. And if you'll just put me in the corner there, I'll kind of go through it. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you, and then I'm going to tell you, and then we're going to tell you what I told you. All right? Here we go. 7 steps of comping. Number 1 is location. The best comparables, the best comparables for your subject property are going to be in the neighborhood. Because typically that neighborhood was built by the same builder or a similar builder. They're built in the same time frame, typically with the same materials. All of these things matter, right? You can't go out there and compare a house that was built by a luxury home builder to somebody that's across the street that's built by somebody that's like a first-time home buyer neighborhood, right? It's like the difference of a Honda Civic versus like a G-Wagon. You know what I mean? Like, they're built differently. There's more high quality products in there, and the neighborhood is different. I mean, there's just higher barriers to entry to get into the higher end neighborhoods than there are in some other neighborhoods. So it's really important to start in the neighborhood first. You want to find a property that is as similar to your property in the neighborhood, right? So Matt, if you'll just put on the screen here, I've got Newark, New Jersey pulled up here because we don't give a lot of love to New Jersey for some reason. That we have incredible wholesalers out in New Jersey. But if you look at this, you can see you want to be pulling comps within the neighborhoods here, right? Before you start crossing a major street, and a major street is usually 4 lanes, right? But you want to pull the comps in this neighborhood first, because these are going to be the best values. Now you're going to see something unique here, right? And this is an example of areas. Look at this. Look at the area that I'm looking at here. These properties look a lot different than these properties. Remember that, and this goes back the 7 steps here. This is really important. This is going to number 5 here. I'm kind of skipping around, but floor plan really matters. 1 story is not a comparable for a 2 or 3 story. All right, 1 stories with 1 story, 2 story with 2 story, 3 with 3, 4 with 4, whatever it is. Single family, you comp with single family. Multifamily, you comp with multifamily. All right. Now we go to number 2 here. So you're in the first location, neighborhood first, then half a mile. If there's no comparables, then you got to go a half mile and then a mile out. All right. This is what an appraiser is going to do once you sell it to your cash buyer and they fix up this house and they sell it to somebody that's going to live in that house. An appraiser is going to go and determine the value as a third party so that the bank understands the value of this property. That's how they determine how much they're going to lend to somebody that's going to get conventional financing. And this happens both with portfolios. If you want to buy it and burr it, or buy it and keep it in your rental portfolio, at some point, most people refinance, and you need a loan for that. And to get a loan, you need, or you sell it to a fix and flipper. They fix it up, make it amazing, sell it to a family, and they have to get the appraisal. But what an appraisal is going to do is neighborhood, half a mile, and then mile. All right. And then what they're going to do is what sales have happened in the last 90 days, what sales have happened in the last 180 days. That's where they really want to stay. 90 days is the best indication, the best comps that they're going to use. And then 180 days if they need to, if it's very rural. And then if it's really rural and there's not a lot of comps, or it's a very unique property, you can go out a year. Okay. But what you want to do is when you're running your comps, when you're pulling comps, you want to be pulling 3 months first, see what's there, 6 months next, and then a year, so that you can get a really accurate idea, especially in this market where things are appreciating like crazy and there's a lack of inventory. And 1 month the property's selling for $440 and the next month it's selling for $480. You need to be on top of that and watch the trends. Watch the trends. This is one of those spots, and I'm not an analytical person at all, as you could probably understand, but this is one part that I really sink my teeth into early on, really got a lot of reps in, because you get this right, you can understand, again, I mentioned it before, you can understand the true opportunity of the properties that you're running into on a daily basis. Because I know you're out there being proactive. I know you're out there getting a lot of leads. Now we need to convert those, and we need to make sure that our values are right. Next, number 3 is plus or minus 15 years is typically what an appraisal guidelines is going to look at. Okay. Now, if you're in an older property, maybe it was built in the early 1900s and the rest of the neighborhood was built in the 1950s, or, it was built in the 1930s and then it's a big gap because of the war, World War II or whatever, you can expand that if you need to. All right. I would say that if you are within 20, 25 years in those older properties, that's going to work as well. But if you can find 15 years, that's ideal. And then plus or minus 15% of the floor plan. So if that's 1,000 square feet, you're looking for properties that are 850 square feet to 1,150 square feet. That's the range that you're looking at for the ideal comparables, so that you can get the most accurate value for that property. All right. And then the last two, 6 and 7, is the condition of the property. Right? The condition. How much does it take to renovate this property? Right? This is going to help you determine the as-is value. Now, the future repair value is fantastic. That's good to know, but you need to know how much will it take to renovate and rehab this property in this market. San Francisco costs a lot more than Corpus Christi in rehab. Just does. Material, labor, all of that, right? So understanding your market and what the actual condition is the first part, and then how much does it cost to fix it up, all right? And then the potential. Once it's beautiful, that's what you're looking for. Once it's beautiful, totally fixed up, you're looking for comparables in your market that are selling for the most. The ones that are the most beautiful. Those are the best comparables for your cash buyers, because that's what they're going to base their strategy for this property off of, right? You have a brand new, totally beautiful house versus a house that's getting renovated. It's much different. You're looking at, okay, I've got a brand new house built here. Down the street is a comp that is totally renovated. I need to use this older renovated comp, not a brand new house. But you're looking for that renovated house. You're looking for somebody that's actually done a fix and flip. You can play around a little bit with new build, but it gets a little bit tricky. I don't want to get in the weeds there. I don't even know why I took it there, but to be honest, but really you're looking for the most renovated house, the ones that are flips, the ones that are staged and they're empty and there's nothing in the closets, right? You're looking for these things when you're looking at the comparables. Take it for instance, okay? I'm going to just take this random house here. Let's go for a vacant house in Newark. I'm going to go with this one here. I'm going to go with this property. And all I'm going to simply do, and this is just to do it really quick here, guys. And obviously, as you can see right here, this is an estimated value. And if you have PropStream, ttpdata.com, if you have PropStream or batch leads, whatever it is, but if you have, they're going to give you an estimated value, which is fantastic. But let's see how this compares to some of the bigger sites. So I'm going to search that address in Google. You're going to see Zillow pops up. You're going to see Realtor pops up. You're going to see Trulia pops up, and you're going to see Redfin pops up. I love that. I love looking at Zillow. These are the three: Zillow, Realtor, Redfin. I like looking at those three, adding them all up. Can somebody have a calculator ready so that we can add this up and get an average? I like going here. So right here, we've got a Zestimate. Well, it just sold. That's going to make it easy. But 433,700. Okay, 433,700 for Zillow. Realtor.com has it at just 431. It's got it there. Median price is 350 in the house. It's got the sold price on there, so it's not going to be an average. So that's 431. Oh, sorry, that was apartments.com. We don't want that. We want Redfin. And Redfin has the sold price as well. Well, this one didn't. Estimated price right here, 430 to 474. Right, so I would probably take a middle ground here at like a 450, but we know this one sold for 430. But you guys get the you guys get the methodology here. Take those three, add them up, divide by 3. What is it?
448.
448.
448.
Sold for 430. Value here 434. It's pretty accurate. Now this one obviously just sold, but I can do this with a different one. I don't want to bore everybody. I want to open this up to the exciting part of question and answers. But you guys understand. Take those three, the Zillow, the Realtor, the Redfin, combine them, divide by 3, and that should give you a pretty good idea. And then you multiply it by this chart right here. All right. This is really important, and it'll give you a really good idea. And this is to make it very simple. You take it, if it's over 250, like this property here in Newark at 440, I would offer 66%. And if it's between 250 and 100, 50%. And if it's under 100,000, you're offering 25%. That's going to give you a good baseline of where you need to be. Okay? So there, in the last 10 minutes, I mean, obviously, you're going to want to rep this. You're going to want to understand values. You're going to want to talk to your cash buyers. You're going to want to get feedback. You're going to want to sign up for everybody else's wholesale blasts so that you can see which properties are coming in at what price and what they sell for, so that you get a really good idea of what is going on in your market and what you can expect for the deals that you are going to sell.
If you like that video, hit that subscribe button. We come out with new videos every single day. And if you want your questions answered, like you and I, one-on-one, make sure that you join us for the live show every single Wednesday. I will see you there.